order for let's spill the tea. Aw,
Yo, 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 yo.
What the fuck?
Please, like,
no. We can't even start our podcast correctly.
Jesse Pinkman in the house. Sorry.
Oh God, no. All right, starting over. Hello. What the fuck?
Hello. Yo, yo,
Hi.
yo. I just wanted
Oh
to
my
get it
God.
in there.
I'm definitely. I might keep the beginning then. I don't know. We'll see how I feel. Cause oh my God, literally like editing every episode, I feel the brain rot of just like having to listen to us talk. And like I can only edit like 20 minutes at a time because it just hurts my brain.
So, what does that say about the people that listen to us?
Well, you see, we already lived it.
I
it's like
guess.
it's like hearing myself. It's like I'm talking to myself, it feels like. If I'm just listening to like my part.
I guess, yeah. It's kind of weird. I understand.
You're not the one editing it, so you don't get it.
Yeah.
One of
It's
these
okay.
days I'm gonna make you.
Please don't. We had this conversation yesterday.
Our audio teachers said she is not allowed to edit.
I could mix. I could set things up. I could do everything else except edit anything. They did not let me edit shit.
Yeah, they did not trust you with that.
I was kind of bad at it, understandably.
I guess. I mean, I have tea this week. I'm drinking tea right now. Thank God.
What flavor?
It is vanilla spice tea.
I have this
I added
vanilla
some
chai
caramel
tea.
too. Oh, love
I
vanilla
love vanilla
chai.
chai. That's the boba that I get too.
Mm. I don't want to say the name of the drink because it is like a very unique name and there's only like a few locations in the state, so not gonna triangulate. But Sky, Sky got this like kind of chai tea like drink
Yeah.
that's it's the same concept. Like I think like the ratios are similar to like a horchata. But like it was like brown sugar and I forget. I think I can't even remember the flavors. What are you doing?
Oh, wanted to know what I was doing.
Oh my God. Well, you can use that photo for the fucking Instagram. Um, but like I tried it and it was like I think there was more milk than chai, like the chai concentrate. So it like was a very muted chai, but it was still like really good. I could only have one sip of it though because Sky put regular milk in it. So, but yeah, uh, some vanilla chais, vanilla spice tea is really good. But yeah, I put a little caramel in here to add a little extra sweetness. But
I don't like caramel, but it's fine.
that sucks for you, I guess. Caramel is amazing. I guess my tea this week is, bro, I'm so fucking tired. Literally. I
What? Okay. Is there a reason?
Okay, I've just been like I've been doing a lot of cleaning, a lot of just getting shit done. Like today, Sky and I had to run a few errands. We were expecting only to be out for a few hours. It turned into 6 fucking hours. And we actually forgot to eat lunch, which is really funny. So like we're about to leave the mall and I'm like, wait, it's like 5:15 at this point. So I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna call mom, see like when she wants us to make dinner because if we need to eat, we need to eat. So yeah, she was like, go get food. Go get a little snack. So I got a
Go
little
get a
snacky
snacky
snack.
wacky.
But oh my God, like literally the second we got home, we just felt like we were gonna crash. Like I was already crashing, but it was just a long day. It's been a long month.
Yeah, I got emotional whiplash this month.
Yeah. Well, first of all, what are you drinking? What kind of tea do you have tea? No, you said you don't.
I had tea before and it was green tea.
Mm.
Now I have Sonic drink again.
I feel like that's 3 weeks in a row.
I know, I really like Sonic.
You and I should go to Sonic.
Ooh, I want Sonic tater tots.
Oh,
I love Sonic tater tots.
my dad and I went to go to Sonic to get breakfast one day, and like it was like a Saturday. So like you'd expect them to be open, for breakfast, even though they do breakfast all day,
Yeah.
I think.
And they weren't?
No, literally, it's like 10:45, okay? They didn't open till 11.
Well, then did you wait 15 minutes?
No, I was hungry and I just wanted to go home. So
That's
I
messed
haven't
up.
had Sonic in like a year.
I haven't had Sonic in longer. I just keep getting the drinks.
That's so valid. No, I would say before that it had been many more years. You and I should go on a Sonic date.
We were talking about it in the context of us going, so I said it, but just cut it out.
I plan on it. Thank
Yeah.
you. I think I know how to edit, Corey.
Yeah, unlike me.
Yeah, I actually do need to teach you one of these days. Cause say we're gonna have to do like around the fall, we're gonna have to do some episodes in advance kind of situation. Because I may or may not be going to Japan for a couple weeks.
I
think
want
we're
to go
doing
to
15
Japan.
days. Jackson's dad is taking us. So
I want to go to Japan.
They went last year and didn't take me. Granted, they kind of planned the trip before he and I started dating, but bitch, it's my first time going. She's about to cry. You guys can't see this reaction. It is disgusting.
My stepdad went to Japan a while ago and I really wanted to go and he told me no.
Well, that sucks for you, I guess. I'm going.
It's fine. I'm going to get rich and I'm going to go everywhere.
Okay, am I coming with to some of these places? Like,
no, because you're denying me Japan.
I jokingly texted Jackson when he came back, and I was like, you should, if you guys are already planning another trip like next year, you should ask if I could come. I want to go to Japan. And he was like, all right, bet. My dad said okay. And I'm just like, huh?
What? The most I get is Paul going to San Antonio.
Which,
No, our vacation is still San Antonio.
What the fuck? I think you need to spill your tea now so we don't just keep blabbing.
Oh, yeah. So, like, we've spent literally every episode up until this point saying that I am dying because Paul was leaving for the Air Force soon.
Yeah.
We were getting ready. It was like a week out, right? I got told last Monday. So it was like 2 weeks out, right?
Yeah, it would have been a week today.
I think it was like a week and a half because it was
11 days.
Yeah.
So like, I think it was Thursday.
Yeah. It was like really recently. So he barely had any time before he was about to leave, right? He talked to his recruiter on Monday and his recruiter's like, "Oh, I'll get back to you like later before I leave the office." His recruiter never did. Then his recruiter asks to meet in person on Thursday. And I was like, that's sus. I had a bad feeling. He didn't, but I did. And I was like, my tummy is feeling.
Yeah. Especially because all of it has been through telecommunications.
Yeah, I was like, this is weird. He leaves. I'm at work. And he texts me and goes, I got disqualified because he has a heart murmur that is structural and not benign.
And it's so minor, though.
Yeah, but I think it's because it's his heart and you, like, any extra strain. Because a structural heart murmur is, like, in the valves of your heart. So something like that is a lot easier to, like, have overexertion problems with. And, like, his dad had to get heart surgery because it's a genetic heart murmur, too.
Yeah.
So, like, his dad had to get heart surgery. And I think even if he wasn't disqualified because of it, I think his mom probably would have been like, please don't go. But he was disqualified. So now he's back at square one. He's looking for jobs. He's going to go get a certification or a degree or something. He's looking at EKG technicians.
Okay. I was thinking, I mean, it's never too late to go to school.
Yeah. I don't think he's a school person. And I told him that he
anybody, but
Yeah, I told him that degrees are kind of important, but I was like, if you can get a job where you only need a certification, then like good for
Exactly.
good for
Like
you. Just make sure that
I
it's
need on-site training for my career. So it's
Mhm.
like every job has different qualifications. But hasn't he talked about like working in the medical field?
Yeah. But
I know he doesn't want to sign up for another like 8, 12 years of his life,
yeah, he
however
would be
long,
in
depending
his
on what he
late
wants to do.
he would be in his late 30s by then.
Exactly. So like maybe not med school anymore, but there are still things he can do in the medical field.
Well, that's why he's looking at like EKG technicians and everything like that.
Yeah.
Because you don't need a degree for that. You just need certification. Granted, it's like
Mhm.
a year because you have to,
Yeah.
but like it's a lot easier than a degree. He's not a degree person, you know?
Neither am I, but
Yeah.
sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. And I think at least like researching school is the way to
Yeah.
go.
I mean, I
Taking it
think,
into account.
yeah, I think he has been, but I think it's pretty much like yeah, I think he's not going to. But
No, probably not.
yeah. But on the topic of school, it's my second week of my master's degree.
Woohoo!
Boop.
How
I
much
got
are you suffering?
100 on,
Ooh!
I've gotten 100 on all 3 assignments so far.
Shit, better than what I could do. I'm stay in school, like at least until you graduate high school. College is a choice.
Yeah. Unless you want to do something that requires a degree like me, because I
Eh.
don't want to be in school, but
You see, thankfully, I am pretty lucky with us going to a performing arts high school.
yeah.
Um, it's just I got my training 8 years ago. I started my training 8 years ago. So by the time I graduated high school, I had that training I needed. I didn't need to go into college to study the same exact things I've already learned.
Yeah.
Because most of the people that I was in school with, because I did do college like for like half a semester, but which isn't much. I don't recommend dropping out. Please try to stick through it. I had some mental health problems, so I had to come home. Um, but like seriously, just like everyone was at like level 1 and
Mm.
they were just learning how to use things like Pro Tools. I was already certified.
Yeah.
So like I even asked my professor because apparently it was a Logic and Pro Tools course, but the only textbook because there's no Logic textbook, but there's a Pro Tools textbook for the certification. I was cuz so I didn't know there was Logic. So I emailed him and I'm like, "So can I test out of this class? Could I show you my certification? Like is there
Yeah.
anything I can do because I already have the training I need for recording and editing and mixing and all of that." And he's like, "Well, actually, we do Logic too." The couple months I was there, it was all Pro Tools.
Unfortunate.
Yeah. So I'm just sitting there bored out of my mind in the class because everyone's like learning how to use everything. Don't get me wrong, there were a couple things I wasn't 100% about because like I was more comfortable recording and mixing than editing,
Yeah.
which all I do is edit now, but you know what I mean. So like I did learn a couple things here and there, but like overall, I just I didn't really learn as much as I wish I did because I was at a different level.
Yeah. The moral of the story is do what makes you happy.
Exactly. We keep going on tangents and
Yeah, we need
this is
to
why our episodes get so long.
we need to back it up and
Yeah,
start
just
our
a little bit
yeah.
cuz I don't think it's going to be
Okay,
too
part
long
2.
today. Yes. It might be long. I lied.
Let's start.
Cuz
Let's get it going.
okay, let me get to the point where I marked it off. Okay. So, last week, just to recap a little bit, we talked about the first couple years of Bundy's reign, his his fun times Well, fun to him.
Yeah.
But there were a couple specific people that were important that we're going to go over again. Just because I'm pretty sure half of these people come back up. So we have his first very big relationship in college, Diane Edwards. They fell in love, but she felt like he wasn't serious enough, so they broke up. And then he later on met a single mother, Elizabeth Klopfer, who she kind of like was like, oh shit, Ted Bundy kind of my boyfriend kind of looks like those sketches
Yeah.
for the wanted posters. They didn't believe her. And Bundy was cheating on Klopfer with Edwards, and then literally like did what she did to him as a revenge tactic. We don't really know, but he was like dating them for like a year. As of right now, he is still with Klopfer. She never knew about Diane. So, and then one character we will hear come up later is Carol Ann Boone, another person who he may or may not have a relationship with. She is going to play a crucial role in the final parts of his life. So those are names I would like us to remember. And obviously we need to remember Ted Bundy because he's the main character of our story.
How could you forget Ted Bundy?
So where we left off was we were going over some of his victims, including, and they started finding some of the remains. Later on, after all these discoveries were made, he starts to move on a bit. He's like, you know what, I'm done with the Washington area. It's time to like go somewhere else. So in August 1974, Bundy got a second acceptance to the University of Utah Law School and moved to Salt Lake City without Elizabeth Klopfer. So he left his girlfriend and pretty much stepdaughter.
Are they still dating, or did they break up when he
Yes.
moved? So they are just long distance.
They were long distance, but he also dated many other women while staying in contact with her.
This reminds me of someone.
We're not going to go into that. He is a serial cheater, and she does not learn about this until the end. Sadly, it kind of breaks my heart a bit because they were together for years.
Yeah, this poor girl.
So he starts taking his classes, and he's struggling a bit to like keep up. I mean, law school is difficult, especially if you're a little older than everyone else, you know.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, as we were saying before, age means nothing. You can go to school whenever you want.
Yeah.
But then again, like, law school is hard.
Law school is very, like, yeah.
I could never.
Competitive.
Personally. So, a month after he began struggling in his classes, more homicides began. And remember, we're in Utah now. We're in a completely different state.
Right.
So, on September 2nd, he strangled and raped a still unidentified hitchhiker in Idaho. In this section I'm going over, it's across 3 different states, which will be Idaho, Utah, and Colorado. So we're going to be jumping around areas a bit, just so you know.
Okay. Because he jumps around.
Because he jumps around. Yes. Yes, he does. So the next day, he returned to the scene of the crime to photograph and dismember the corpse in a nearby river.
Great.
Yeah. And then a month later, on October 2nd, he abducted 16-year-old Nancy Wilcox in Holiday, Utah. He followed her into a poorly lit roadway, restrained her, put her in his car, and drove back to his apartment. He claimed the remains were near Capitol Reef National Park, but they never found her. Oh. But he did confess to her killing. Again, we'll go over this later on about how sometimes killers make confessions so they can put off their death sentence.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna cover it. I'm pretty sure. It's just, ugh.
16 years old. Great.
16 years old. I mean, he didn't know any better. He doesn't know their age. He's not gonna ask that.
Well, yeah, obviously, but still, that's really sad.
It is sad. And our next victim on October 18th, 17-year-old Melissa Ann Smith, the daughter of the police chief of Midvale, Utah.
Oh, great.
Yeah. Went missing after leaving a pizza parlor around 9:30 p.m.
Don't go
Girl
get
just
pizza
wanted
at
her
9:30.
pizza. Yeah.
Apparently.
Unless you, not alone. Not alone. Please make sure you have someone with you.
Always. Especially if you're.
Well, also, this was 52 years ago.
I was digging in my desk and I found honey-filled cough drops that I didn't know I had, and I pulled it out, and I'm sorry, that was really off topic, but I didn't know they were there.
It just
I was
came out of
trying
nowhere.
I was trying to find the foam for my mic box, and I pulled out cough drops instead.
You're a hot mess. You will
Sorry.
always be a hot mess. Sorry, time to get back into the grim stuff. 9 days later, they found her naked body in a nearby mountainous area. A post-mortem examination indicates she may have been alive for up to 7 days since her disappearance.
So, like, he was holding her hostage?
Probably. That's what it sounds like. This might be another one that I want to, like, research more in the future. Not sure yet.
Yeah.
Because there's so many details. I spent days on this one. I actually have research on another, like, serial killer group.
Okay.
I'm gonna bleep it out. It's
Oh, yeah.
I'm going back and forth on whether or not I want to cover that one, because I literally got to the point where I just, like, it's like, so, like, I handwrite my notes because I remember things better when I handwrite them. I've considered typing it up and then handwriting it, or
Yeah.
the other way around. But, like, I was going at, like, I say, like, I took so long on this one. That one, I think I spent, because I did that one, I think when we finally, like, started planning on when we were starting this podcast, so maybe back in the fall. So, like, I was working a lot,
Yeah.
but I think it took me 2 weeks to do those notes.
Yeah, there's a lot.
Yeah, and I kind of might go back into it and just triple check everything, make sure, like, I'm comfortable
Yeah.
with talking about some of that stuff, and I feel confident about it. Anyway, happy Halloween, 1974. 17-year-old Laura Ann Amy disappeared 25 miles south of Leahy after leaving a Halloween party by herself after midnight. She was last seen trying to hitchhike.
So, that's why we don't hitchhike anymore.
Yeah.
And that's why
Yeah.
we don't leave places alone, especially at night.
Yeah. And then we transition to the next major holiday, Thanksgiving Day. Her naked body was found in American Fork Canyon.
Disgusting.
The medical examination stated that she died on November 20th, which was 20 days after she went missing. So that means Bundy kept her alive even longer than our last victim.
So he's losing the thrill
He's keeping them alive longer.
so that he can get more of a thrill before.
Yes.
Yeah.
Both of these girls have been beaten, raped, sodomized, and strangled with nylon stockings. For those of you who don't know what sodomy is, anal rape.
Listen, okay, butt stuff freaks me out, and the thought of, like,
Hey, Corey, should I remind you who's listening?
it's fine. It's just, like, the concept of it. Like, I'm 21. I know what it is, okay?
Sorry, Mom and Dad. We know
Like-
things.
Like, it creeps me out. And then the thought, like, the concept is like disgusting to me. So it's even like more disgusting in my brain. Like not because it's more bad, like more like inhumane, but it
Mhm.
just creates a more visceral reaction in my body.
Oh, yeah, no, I hate it just as much. Because also, when we talk about sodomy, it's usually done with an object.
Ah,
Yeah, I
ew.
do
Okay.
not know. I don't have the information on like what. Sadly, I tried finding it out.
I don't want to know. In
But I
fact,
don't think I want to know.
I don't need to know
I
that information.
don't. No. So it was later on discovered that one of Bundy's post-mortem rituals would be shampooing their hair and applying makeup to make them look pretty. No, I don't like that at all.
Like like a
Interesting man.
mortician. It's like a mortician.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Right. He wanted them to be found pretty.
So remember that his like go-to would be women who remind him of Diane Edwards.
So he wanted to
But
make them look like her?
I guess it's like he has like a picture in his head.
Yeah.
This again, he never explained as to why. So
I
we
can only
just know
assume
that like
he wanted to make them look like her. That's what I
he wanted to clean them up. I don't know. Because it's not like he'd be getting rid of evidence. He's kind of adding more evidence, I guess, in that
Yeah,
case. But I don't have the answers to it. It probably has something to do with the picture he has in his head of
probably.
his just he did have like a type for his victims.
I
So
guess.
it was they always had the long brown hair, they always dressed in like the jeans. And
Yeah.
on November 8th, Carol DeRanch, I hope I'm saying that right. I apologize if I butcher names. I try to look them up. Carol DeRanch was approached by Bundy at Fashion Place Mall in Murray. He identified himself as Officer Roseland of the Murray Police Department and told DeRanch someone had attempted to break into her car and asked her to accompany him to the station to file a complaint.
How you know it's her car?
I don't ask
Okay.
me.
Anyway.
Like, I think it was she doesn't know.
Yeah.
So she's like, "Oh wow, this officer is like coming up to me and saying like, oh my god, I gotta go like file a complaint and whatnot and get the information done so I can like
So
take
like did he
care of
have a
this."
costume?
He, girl, I imagine he at least had like a fake badge,
I guess. Probably.
which is still wrong.
Yeah.
So as they're in his car, you know, his wonderful tan Volkswagen Beetle, um Durange pointed out that he wasn't driving on a road to the station. So he attempted to handcuff her, but in a panic, he like put it on. He didn't do it right. Like I don't know if he like missed her wrist or just like didn't do it like missed. Ugh. And guess what? She escaped. She survived.
So then
We
she went
have
to the
one
police station for real.
survivor. Yeah, and as we said in last episode, they don't suspect a law student who helps out in the community. Yeah. That same evening, because remember his thrill is gone. She escaped.
Yeah.
That same evening, Deborah Jean Kent, a 17-year-old student at Viewmont High School in Bountiful. That's an interesting town name now that I think about it. Bountiful.
Like Bounty, the Bounty picker upper.
Ah, yes, the quicker picker upper. Hey, Bounty, you wanna sponsor us? We got it. She disappeared after a theater production at the school to pick up her brother.
Right.
Yeah. The drama teacher and a student encountered a stranger asking them to identify a car and saw him pacing outside the auditorium. Outside the auditorium was the key to the handcuffs used on Duranch.
Oh.
Yeah. I mean, if like one was, so what it said something about like him cuffing the same wrist.
Yeah.
So like literally put the one on her wrist and then took the other one and like missed.
Accidentally put it on her.
So like it didn't do anything.
Yeah.
So her hand was still free.
Just with a handcuff on it.
Pretty much. So like he's like, what do I use this key for?
Yeah.
It's not gonna do anything now. So Bundy later admitted to abducting Kent and keeping her in his apartment and said she, quote, was alive during half of it.
But like, what does that mean though?
Okay. I just wrote it weird in my notes. I apologize. He kept her there for a day. And so like literally she was alive for like half of the day and then killed her.
Oh.
And then like, you know, he had to do like his whole post-mortem ritual and whatnot.
Yeah.
So I don't know, bro. I don't understand his tactics. You can't really like, without like talking to them, you don't know what goes on in the mind of someone.
Yeah.
And
Obviously.
like for all we know, like he was exaggerating some of this. Like he's dead now. We can't ask.
Yeah.
So in November, Miss Elizabeth Klopfer rang police again after hearing of the disappearances around Salt Lake. She's like she's still with this man, but yet she's like suspicious.
She's probably still with him because she's like, if he really is, then maybe he'll kill me.
Yeah, maybe she's afraid of leaving him. We don't know. Like, it could be, again, I don't know them what's going through their minds unless they say it. And I'm pretty, there could have been an interview out there where they discussed it, and I just didn't find it personally. But I'm just going off of one information I got.
Yeah.
So, apologies if I butcher this name because it is one I've never heard before.
Okay.
Detective Randy Hergesheimer interviewed her thoroughly this time. So like they actually like sat her down and they got information.
They're taking her a little bit more seriously.
Yes, they're not doing the he couldn't have done it. Yeah. Even though multiple people said, I think he did it.
They were just like, nah.
Yeah. So now Bundy is finally climbing the hierarchy of suspicion.
Yeah.
He gets put into a lineup.
Yeah.
But our Lake Sammamish witness from earlier failed to identify him.
Oh, great.
This was the beach in Issaquah.
What? The one that ran away or something?
No. So this is one I talked about last week, where he kind of just like, this is the one with the sailboat.
Yeah, he approached two girls, right?
Yeah.
And one of them ran.
One of them, and then there was also the guy who was like, oh, this is kind of like weird. I'm not gonna go towards this. So yes, this is one we discussed. That's why I got confused. I was like, because it's Lake Sammamish State Park. That's why I got confused. Yeah. So yeah, our lovely Lake Sammamish in Issaquah witness sadly could not identify him in a photo lineup. But a month later in December, Klopfer relayed her suspicions again to Salt Lake County Sheriff's Office. She was not giving up. She was like, I need answers. This is my boyfriend.
Yeah. She's probably freaked out because one, she's dating him so he could kill her, but also she has a daughter that she needs to protect.
Mm-hmm. She's a single mom. I mean, at this point, I think you would consider her a single mom again because he's not living at home.
Yeah.
But like, she's got this young kid who supposedly Bundy loved, but also did not treat very well. It was definitely. Whew. So Bundy was added to the list of suspects again, but there was not enough credible forensic evidence. Do you remember why?
Because he goes back and collects everything.
Correct. He actually was let into the scenes in some cases. It was like, why?
Why would you let somebody in?
Yeah.
And why was that not suspicious in itself that he's trying to get in?
That's what I'm saying. Because I don't know, they just didn't know. And they were not, the rules were very different then. I still don't think it should literally only be the detectives, the officers, CSU.
Yeah.
No one should be in the scene. So, January 1975, he spent a week in Seattle after finishing his exams. So, he was like, all right, going to go visit my girlfriend and her daughter. You know, just want a little break from Utah.
Yeah.
So, Klopfer never said anything about the reports she made against him, which, good.
I
Maybe
wouldn't do that
don't
either.
say anything. On January 12th, a 23-year-old RN, Karen Eileen Campbell, disappeared in Snowmass Village, which would later be called Wildwood Inn. Just figured I would throw that name out there in case anyone knows a Wildwood Inn.
Okay.
We are in Colorado right now, by the way. Sorry,
Okay.
I forgot to mention that. It's in Colorado. Her nude body was found a month later outside of the resort.
That's disgusting.
So she was killed by a blow to her head from a blunt instrument that left linear grooved depressions on her skull. Which, like, what? Ow!
You have to hit someone so hard,
You
or
gotta hit 'em
so many. It's either
hard.
so hard or so many times.
Oh, and that's not even all he did.
Oh.
There's more.
Tell me the more.
He slit her left earlobe, and her body had deep cuts from a sharp object.
But
yeah,
why the earlobe? Did he try and take like the earlobe as like a memento or something?
I hope not. Let's not go back to that Bonnie and Clyde story again, because I still think about that. Why are you dying again? Do I just take your breath away? Like,
stop. It was just my saliva.
Oh, geez, you're choking. Sorry, I'm very congested right now.
We're both dying.
Literally. So with Campbell now being found dead, that is 14 documented victims in 1 year.
He was going ham.
He was. Like, he was on a murder spree, to put it lightly.
I mean, he is a serial killer.
Yeah. And he wasn't getting caught. So on March 15th, 100 miles northeast of Snowmass Village, or Wildwood Inn as it is known now, 26-year-old ski instructor Julie Lyle Cunningham disappeared walking from her apartment to meet a friend. Lonely woman, his easy target.
They're an easy target.
And it's sad to say that. So as we know, one of his tactics is seeming as, like if he has like a sling or crutches.
Yeah. Seem
just
helpless.
Seem helpless, thank you. So he approached her on the crutches and asked for help carrying his ski boots to his car. I'm sorry,
Why
but if
are you
you're on
skiing?
I was just about to say that. If you're on crutches, you shouldn't be skiing. Like, so she didn't think of it. So he ended up clubbing and handcuffing her. And then, sexually assaulted her.
Like, just right there?
Pretty much.
Oh, great.
Hmm.
That's perfect.
Okay, next one. This isn't gonna stop. We're getting into it. I
Okay,
apologize.
that's fine. I'm ready.
I know you are. Is everyone else? Denise
I love hearing these things. That sounds really
Lynn.
creepy of me. I was like, I love hearing
Anyway.
these things.
Anyway.
It's fine.
Denise Lynn Oliverson disappeared near the Utah-Colorado border in Grand Junction on April 6th while riding her bike. She was trying to get to her parents. She's trying to go see her parents.
That's really sad.
Which is so sad.
Her
So
poor parents.
I'm sure they were like, "Where is she?" I don't know if she was going to surprise them or just they knew she was coming, but still, that's so sad. So he abducted her and killed her near the Utah state line and dumped her body in the Colorado River. And then
He
a
really
month later
loves
on May 6th,
rivers.
he likes the rivers. Month later on May 6th, he went to Alameda Junior High School in Pocatello, Idaho. Remember, this is a junior high school. It's a middle school.
So so now he's targeting them on purpose, right?
Yes. It's not like by chance anymore.
Yeah. He's going for young women at this point on purpose.
I don't even know if you can call this next victim a young woman.
A child?
12-year-old Lynette Dawn Culver was walking by herself. And he lured her to his car and drove to his hotel room.
Oh my gosh, so he's a pedophile too.
I mean, 17 is above the age of consent. But
at those points, he didn't necessarily know. Now he knows.
Yeah.
You can't mistake a 12-year-old.
Because he literally, also, if he's at the junior high school.
Yeah. You know how old middle schoolers are, and you can't mistake a 12-year-old for an adult woman.
Yeah. Well, he raped her and drowned her in the bathtub. So, brutal death.
Drowning is, my worst fear.
I'm, so scared of drowning.
That makes me that actually, scares me more than, getting brutally murdered with, an object.
Mm-hmm. He disposed of her body in Snake River, which is, he really likes those rivers, apparently.
He does. I mean, the bodies are harder to find.
Yeah, especially, so, with it being a river, it's fresh water.
It's gonna decompose faster.
Yes. And the fact that Lynette was drowned in the bathtub, you wouldn't really be able to tell a difference. There would just be water in her lungs.
An accidental drowning.
It could come off as an accidental drowning. Especially because with faster decomposition, it's probably known that all evidence of that rape is gone.
Yeah.
Possible it's still there. It's possible.
Very, very unlikely. Unless there's damage done to, her body from that.
Say, again, I'm talking science here, people. When a young girl loses her virginity, her hymen breaks. That would be, the only evidence I think that would stay. And maybe some bruising.
Bruising or tearing.
Exactly. That's, it.
There would be no biological evidence to tie him. Yeah. There would be evidence that there was a rape, but not to him.
Thank you. That's what I was trying to get at. But yeah, so she at least was found. They found her body. That's all that matters. Couple weeks later in mid-May, 3 of his Washington DES coworkers visited him in Salt Lake City, including Boone, who, remember, will be a very important character at the end of the story.
Great. Okay.
So she came to visit him, And then mid-June, he went to go visit Klopfer again in Seattle, and again, never told him about the ongoing reports, and he never spoke of his relationship with Boone or the killings. So, yeah, he's also seeing Boone while dating Klopfer. It's this poor woman.
She's getting hardcore cheated on.
Oh, and they spoke of marriage for the following Christmas.
Like Klopfer?
Yeah,
Oh,
because they were together for
that's.
many years.
But why would she speak of it if she's making reports about him?
Because she's trying to keep herself safe.
Fair.
Which I don't blame her. She's trying to like act all nonchalant about everything. Act so naive. So
Naive women are always. Anyway.
Anyway, on June 28th, we're going to another youngin. 15-year-old Susan Curtis disappeared. This would be Bundy's final confession.
Okay.
Oh, I was wrong. Culver was never found. I lied. I thought she was.
Oh.
My bad. My bad. He just claimed that he disposed of her in Snake River.
Okay.
There were a few victims that would never be recovered, and to this day are still not. Wilcox, Kent, Cunningham, Silverson, Culver, and Curtis. All unknown, but he confessed to their killings. So on August 16th, the pieces were finally put together and Bundy was arrested by Utah Highway Patrol Officer Bob Hayward. Thank God.
Finally. That took forever.
So the reason he got arrested was because Hayward saw Bundy cruising and fleeing at high speeds after seeing a patrol car. He literally went, "Oh no, cop!"
Why would you do that? That's gonna draw so much
He was
suspicion.
doing so good evading them, even like working with them.
They literally would not have suspected you until you
Exactly.
did that shit.
So I forgot to put a photo of it to like text you. His car is like the creepiest thing ever.
I'm about to look it up.
I'm gonna describe it to you
Okay.
so you can be ready. So Hayward noticed that the front passenger seat was removed and placed on rear seats during the car search. Like there's no
Okay.
passenger seat. They found a ski mask, a second mask made from pantyhose, a crowbar, handcuffs, trash bags, rope, ice pick, and many other items initially believed to be for burglary. Like, okay, are you looking at it?
Yeah, it gives me the heebie-jeebies. I don't like it. I don't like
Like,
it. I don't
it's
like it. I don't like it.
creepy.
I don't like it. I don't like it. It also has a really bad energy, and I don't like it. Even through pictures, it makes me want to throw up.
Right?
That was
Like,
disgusting.
I believe I think, is it in the Alcatraz Museum?
Yes.
Yeah. I'm like, I want to go. Don't get me wrong.
I want to go, but I feel like I would have such a bad reaction, like my
I think I would have a
body.
panic attack.
Yeah. I mean,
But,
there's so much
so-
energy.
So, Bundy being Bundy, he tried to find a way out of all of that by saying the mask was for skiing. He found the cuffs in the dumpster, and the rest are household items.
Why would you keep cuffs you found in the dumpster?
Why would you keep a mask that you made out of pantyhose? Well, how is that a household item?
Pantyhose. Maybe they're just ripped.
Oh.
Maybe him and his girl got freaky. I don't know.
The trash bags and the rope I can understand. The crowbar, not so much, but can kind of.
It's the mask that does it for me.
Yeah. So they got a warrant to search his apartment, and they found a ski resort guide to Colorado ski resorts with a check mark next to Wildwood Inn.
Great.
Which is where 2 of his victims were. And then they also found a brochure for Viewmont High School in Bountiful, where Kent disappeared. And guess what? It was not enough evidence to detain him.
Well, it's all circumstantial.
It's all circumstantial, which is
It's infuriating, but
so
you
yeah,
need it.
he was released on his own recognizance.
That's not a good basis.
So during the search of the apartment, they missed a hidden collection of Polaroids of the victims. that he destroyed once he was released. He kept trophies.
How do you miss that?
If he was hiding them and they didn't look hard enough, I don't know.
But you're supposed to look everywhere.
I don't know what was going through these cops' head. Like, who knows? Maybe they were hidden under a floorboard. Like,
Fair.
it wouldn't be the first time that things have gotten missed.
Yeah, but it always makes me mad.
So, Salt Lake City police placed him under 24-hour surveillance. And, so 1 year prior to him moving to Utah, Klopfer found some objects that she, quote, couldn't understand in her house and his apartment, including crutches, bag of plaster of Paris, which he admitted to stealing from a med supply house. Okay. A meat cleaver that was never used for cooking, surgical gloves, an oriental knife in a wooden case. It was kept in his glove compartment, by the way, and a sack full of women's clothing.
Oh.
So Bundy was always in debt. So Klopfer suspected anything he owned that had value, he stole it.
Okay.
She just assumed that, which
She just accepted that?
she questioned the new TV and stereo when he said, quote, "If you tell anyone, I'll break your fucking neck."
Oh.
And Bundy would become very upset if she ever considered cutting her hair, which was long and parted down the middle.
That's got, like, that had to be a red flag.
But she was also being threatened, so.
Yeah. This sounds so familiar. Sorry.
This is about to get worse about their relationship.
Okay.
She would sometimes wake up in the middle of the night to him examining her body with a flashlight. And he kept a lug wrench taped halfway up in her trunk, which was also a Volkswagen Beetle, for, quote, protection.
Okay.
Yeah. She was very suspicious of everything. So in September, he sold his Volkswagen to a Midvale teen, but it was soon impounded and searched. They found hairs matching samples to Campbell's body and hairs microscopically indistinguishable to Smith and DeRonch's. Well,
Great.
on
So
October
that ties
2nd,
them. Yeah.
Yes. On October 2nd, Bundy was placed in another lineup, and DeRonch identified him as Detective Roseland.
Ooh.
His alias he used. So, witnesses from Bountiful also identified him as the stranger from Viewmont High School auditorium. But there was not sufficient enough evidence to link him to Kent, sadly. But thankfully, there was more than enough evidence to charge with aggravated kidnapping and attempted criminal assault for DeRonch. So, they could finally arrest him. So, he claimed that he didn't know DeRonch, but he had no alibi. And he was freed on a $15,000 bail paid by his parents. Yikes.
His parents.
So, he stayed with Klopfer in between indictment and trial in Seattle. Still stuck. They're still stuck together. There was still insufficient evidence for the Pacific Northwest murders, but he was still kept on close surveillance. Whew. Okay, we're finally in 1976.
Wow.
February of 1976, Bundy stood trial for the DeRonch case. He waived his right to a jury due to negative publicity around the case, which I can understand his choice for that.
Yeah.
It's very hard to get an unbiased jury when
things are media.
when things are publicized.
Yeah.
So I know in certain cases they sometimes pull jury from they could take it from the East Coast. Get jury member. That's a lot to ask for. Don't get me wrong.
But his cases were kind of widespread.
Yeah. So with all the publicity, the chance of the jury being unbiased is very unlikely.
Very slim. Yeah.
Yeah. So, after a 4-day bench trial and weekend deliberation, Judge Stuart Hanson Jr. found him guilty of kidnapping and assault. He was in June, which, whoo, he didn't get sentenced till June. He was sentenced to 1 to 15 years at Utah State Prison. Because remember, this is a Utah case.
Yeah.
So we're not going into the Pacific Northwest yet. In October, he was found hiding in bushes in the prison yard with an escape kit, including road maps, airline schedules, and a social security card.
Okay.
Bro.
Great. Do better.
In result, he had to spend several weeks in solitary.
Well, yeah, understandable.
And then later that month, he was charged with Campbell's murder.
Okay.
Which, at least more charges coming in.
Yeah.
January 1977, he was transferred to Aspen, but that one, quote, escape attempt was not his only one.
Okay.
So 6 months later, after being transferred to Aspen, he got transported. It's not like a complete transfer. It's you are going to this prison or this courthouse. Sorry, courthouse. So it's just a transport. He's going to the courthouse for a preliminary hearing at Pitkin County Courthouse. He waived his right to an attorney, and he was his own. I always say, if you can have someone be your attorney, get an attorney. Granted, Bundy was always in debt, so he probably didn't want to pay for one. And also, he always had that like go-to attitude, like, yeah, I'll be fine.
Which, stupid.
I say you should always have just an extra voice, you know? Because he was a notori, he had access to the courthouse library. Yikes. While out of view in said library, he opened a window and jumped from the second story, which injured his right ankle.
Okay.
He limped through Aspen, then hiked through Aspen Mountain.
Okay.
Really? He's
Interesting.
like, all right, I got this. And then near Summit, he broke into a hunting cabin and stole food, clothes, and a rifle.
Oh.
So the next day, he left the cabin and continued to go south, and he ended up getting lost in the forest. After 2 days of wandering, on June 10th, he found another cabin to break into.
Great.
And then, he was like, you know what? Instead of going south, I'm just going to go back to Aspen.
That's
where he just ran away from.
I was going to say, that's a really stupid idea.
3 days later, he stole a car and gave up. And then he just went back to where 2 officers saw a car weaving and pulled him over. He was a 6-day fugitive.
Yeah, that was really stupid of him to do.
Yeah. So, he's not done though. In jail, he got put in jail in Glenwood Springs. And then he found a detailed floor plan and received a hacksaw from other inmates.
Okay.
Like, okay, bro.
Perfect.
Yeah. Some of his visitors would also smuggle in cash, including Boone. His other lover.
Oh, yeah.
And so he got $500 cash. So while the other prisoners were showering, he started to saw a hole between the steel reinforcing bars in the cell ceiling. That's about like 1 square foot.
Okay.
This dude had to lose 35 pounds so he could wiggle through the tiny hole he made and explore the crawl space.
Oh.
He forced himself to lose 35 pounds.
That's crazy.
I would assume I'm sure with the amount of time he might have done it the wrong way. But
yeah.
And guess what? They never investigated the complaints of movement in the ceiling.
Okay, well, people are stupid.
Yeah. So he didn't completely escape. Because in late 1977, Bundy filed a motion to change the trial venue to Denver. The reason he chose Denver was just less people know.
Yeah.
Which, like,
Smart,
on December
I guess.
23rd, the Aspen trial judge granted said motion, but chose Colorado Springs instead. So, like, approved, like, yeah, we can go to a different location and whatnot. Because, like, in Aspen, he was probably all over the news about being a fugitive.
Yeah.
Again, media can cause a problem. Reason the judge chose Colorado Springs is because the juries are known to be more hostile towards murder suspects.
Okay, icons.
Right. So on the night of December 30th, most of the prison staff was on Christmas break, so they were very short-staffed.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Bundy piled books and files in his bed and covered them with a blanket to look like a sleeping body was there, and climbed into his crawl space.
Great.
Oh. He broke through the ceiling of the chief jailer's apartment, who was out for the evening with his wife. So it wasn't
Great.
an accident. He planned this.
Okay.
It wasn't like he just fell through the ceiling tiles. Like,
He went through on purpose.
yes. So he then changed into street clothes and walked out the front door.
Oh.
He just left.
Great. That's really amazing.
Oh, so he stole a car and drove east, but the car broke down in the mountains of Interstate 70. So a passing motorist gave him a ride to Vail, which is 60 miles east from the prison. Then he caught a bus to Denver, a morning flight to Chicago, and his escape went completely unnoticed until noon on New Year's Eve. So, like,
Wow.
maybe like 12 hours later. Because they were
That's really
short-staffed.
bad.
They were
That's still
short-staffed,
really bad.
which is not good. So, what the fuck did you do to your nail?
It just melted off.
It's an acrylic, right?
Yeah. It
Okay, so after
folded
a while,
backwards.
it's weak right now. That's why. Don't bite it.
Yeah,
Stop biting it.
I mean, I'm just gonna take everything off.
Do you have a cuticle nipper or nail clipper or something? File?
It just
Okay,
folded off.
Okay, fair enough. Okay, rewind. From Chicago, he then traveled to Ann Arbor, Michigan, and went to a local tavern on January 2nd. We are now even further in the future. 5 days later, he stole another car and drove to Atlanta and boarded a bus to Tallahassee, Florida on the morning of January 8th. So we're like southeast now, guys. They can't find him. So he stayed in a hotel for one night under the alias of Chris Hagen, which was near Florida State University campus. Oh boy. I don't think
So
we're
he's
doing
gonna
good.
kill someone.
So he claimed he wanted to find legitimate employment and refrain from crime, thinking he could remain free as long as he didn't attract police. His only job was at a construction site. But he left when he was asked for a proper identification. Because he didn't think it
Well,
through.
yeah.
Yeah. So he ended up shoplifting and stealing money and credit cards. So he gave up real quick and was like, all right, I just gotta do what I gotta do.
Yeah. I mean.
So, all right, here we go. This is the one that, this is like, I wrote on the side, vomitous.
Oh,
I was
great.
like, I obviously didn't like this. So early hours of January 15th, 1978, he entered FSU's Chi Omega sorority house through the back door. Around 2:45 a.m., he bludgeoned Margaret Elizabeth Bowman, who was 21 years old, with a piece of oak firewood fire wood as she slept, then garroted her with a nylon stocking. And if you remember from our John Benet Ramsey case, a garrote is basically a strangulation device that you tighten around the neck, which usually will leave like bruising and impressions in the neck. So it's very easy to identify a cause of death post-mortem with that. So his next victim was 20-year-old Lisa Janet Levy. He beat her unconscious, then strangled her. I put a little trigger warning here. Tore off one of her nipples.
Oh,
Yeah.
great.
Bit deeply into her left buttock, and then sexually assaulted her with a hair mist bottle.
Oh, perfect.
Ah, that's what I wrote vomitous about. Yep.
The nipple. I'm still
Literally
stuck on the nipple.
ripped off her nipple. Ow.
I'm like holding my boob now.
Protect the boobie.
This story, you didn't lie. This story is long.
Yeah, because he just didn't stop.
How much more does he have?
So the next bedroom over was 21-year-old Kathy Kleiner. He broke her jaw and deeply lacerated her shoulder.
Okay.
Ouch. Next would be Karen Chandler, also 21. She got a concussion, broken jaw, lost some of her teeth, and a crushed finger, but Kleiner and Chandler survived.
How?
So Tallahassee detectives determined all of these attacks occurred within 15 minutes, which is insane with the amount of damage he caused.
He's apparently a very skilled person.
Well, he wasn't done for the night. Because after leaving, he broke into an apartment 8 blocks away of Cheryl Thomas, dislocated her shoulder, fractured her jaw and skull in 5 places. Ouch.
Okay, brain.
Yeah, it actually did mess her up to the point where she was left with permanent deafness in her left ear and equilibrium damage that literally ended her dance career. She was a dancer. I know that hurts you.
Yeah, sometimes I just forget that they can't see my face, but that hurt my heart a little bit.
So on her bed, they found a semen stain and a pantyhose mask containing 2 hairs similar to Bundy's. Which again, this is the 70s, so I guess they couldn't use the DNA from the hair follicles.
No.
I think that was 90s, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So on February 8th, he stole an FSU van and drove to Jacksonville. There he approached 14-year-old Leslie Parmenter, who was the daughter of Jacksonville Police Department's chief of detectives. Approached her in a parking lot, identifying as Richard Burton from the fire department.
Okay.
He's using another alias. So he ended up retreating when her older brother approached them. So, like, she's safe. Thank God. That afternoon, he backtracked westward to Lake City. And at Lake City Junior High School, 12-year-old Kimberly Diane Leach was told to go to her homeroom to get a forgotten purse, but never returned to class. Like, what? 7 weeks later, her partially mummified remains were found near a pig farrowing shed near Suwantsee River State Park. What? Oh, wait, is it Suwanee? Sorry, Suwanee, not Suwantsee. Suwanee. I'm doing so terrible today. I'm sorry. I think it's
okay.
the brain, just my brain being
okay.
fried. So forensic specialists concluded that Leach was raped before her throat was cut and genitals were mutilated with a knife.
Oh,
This bitch is 12.
That's disgusting.
Sorry, this is like, it's a lot. I know, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
So on February 12th, he had insufficient money for overdue rent and worried that the police were onto him.
Okay.
So he stole yet another car and drove west across the Florida Panhandle. 3 days later, around 1 a.m., Pensacola police officer David Lee pulled him over near the Alabama state line due to wants and warrants check from a stolen vehicle report. Bundy tried to resist arrest by kicking Lee's legs out from under him and running. Lee fired 2 warning shots, then chased and tackled him. During the vehicle check, after Bundy was arrested, 3 IDs were found from female FSU students, 21 stolen credit cards, and a stolen television set. He needed his TV.
That's great.
There was also a pair of dark-rimmed, non-prescription glasses and a pair of plaid slacks later identified as Richard Burton disguise.
Great.
During transport, Bundy said, quote, "I wish you had killed me."
Oh.
So
why?
Because he wanted to be free.
Okay, fair.
So in May 1978, the Florida grand jury indicted Bundy on the following charges: first-degree murder, attempted first-degree murder, burglary of the Chi Omega killings, and assaults. Which, like, a lot of charges.
That is a lot.
Which I think I meant to say, like, I think it was 2 counts of first degree and then 2 counts of attempted, actually.
Probably.
So, anyway, June, literally a year, 13 months later, in June 1979, he stood trial with 250 reporters from multiple continents. And it was the first case like this televised nationally. Televised nationally.
Yeah.
So this time he had court-appointed attorneys there with him, but he still wanted to do it himself. So
That's
if he pled,
stupid.
if he pled guilty to killing Levy, Bowman, and Leach, he would have a 75-year sentence with no death row.
Okay.
So Bundy was originally going to take the deal in hopes within a few years evidence would be lost, witnesses die out, but last second he backed out.
Okay.
On July 24th, he was convicted of 3 counts of attempted first-degree murder for Kleiner, Chandler, and Thomas, and then 2 counts of first-degree murder and burglary of Bowman and Levy. The second trial would be 6 months later for abduction and murder of Leach. He was found guilty, just so we know. During the Leach trial, he asked Boone to marry him while questioning her. You know, because remember, he's playing attorney. So, like,
Yeah.
she's on the witness stand.
And he's like, "Will you marry me?
Will you marry me?" And I'm just like, what?
Everybody's probably like, what the fuck?
Actually, there is a reason to this if you think about it. So since they were already in a court, he could legally declare them married. And your spouse can't testify against you.
Oh.
It is a law that you are
Your
not
spouse
legally
may, but
obligated.
you are not. Yeah.
It's not like
your spouse can deny.
Yes, they can deny it because spousal privilege. So, February 10th, 1980, he was sentenced a 3rd time to death by electric chair. Bundy bribed the guards to have a conjugal visit with his now wife. And on October 24th, 1981, Rose Bundy was born. He has a biological child.
I forget that all the time.
I always forget that he has a child. Which, like, I mean, I don't know what she's doing with her life right now. Can't remember if that's in my notes. But, like, I don't think she took after her father.
I hope not.
I really hope not. So, he claimed that he was an amateur and impulsive killer in his early years, and considered his prime to begin around the Healy murder that was in 1974.
Okay.
Like, all right, whatever you want to say, buddy. He implies that many of the killings. Oh, sorry. Implies that there were many killings before too, but he never fully admitted it. Like last week when I mentioned, like his first murder may have been in New Jersey.
Yeah, that's really scary.
That is scary to think about, but it's not the first time something crazy has happened in New Jersey.
A lot of crazy things happen in New Jersey.
Yeah. So because of, him trying to like confess over and over and over again, there were many rescheduled executions. We do believe it was a ploy to stretch out his sentence so he could survive for longer.
Yeah.
On the eve of his execution, he talked of suicide and even rejected his last meal, which like bro, you could what happens if you order like something bottomless, like never ending?
And you have to keep eating continuously.
Exactly. Like you're not going to be executed. You asked for something bottomless. So, but also like I love finding out what people's last meals are cuz like
That
there's
is
some
really
weird ones.
interesting to me.
Cuz like what do you choose? Like
Your
maybe
favorite
that's
food.
something I'll talk about one day is like what my last meal would be. It would be like bullshit. I don't know. Like how do you pick?
Just your favorite.
We're almost done, I promise.
It's
Because
okay.
we are talking about his execution. On Tuesday, January 24th, 1989, at 7:16 a.m., he was executed by electric chair. His final words were directed to his attorneys, Jim Coleman and Methodist minister Fred Lawrence. Quote, Jim and Fred, I'd like you to give my love to my family and friends. People cheered as his hearse rolled out.
That's crazy.
So he does not have an official resting place. He was cremated and his ashes were scattered in Washington State Park, across Washington State, according to his will. And that was the never ending story of Ted Bundy.
That was really fucking
It was so, that's why I separated it. I feel like anytime I do a serial killer with a long
brain.
reign,
Yeah.
um, it's like the one I talked about earlier, that's probably going to be a two-parter. I'm curious
Yeah.
how many pages it is. Cuz like I bookmark like where the stories start.
Yeah.
Next week's story is not going to be a serial killer. It's going to be something else that I've been wanting to talk about for a while. Um Oh, it's longer than I thought it was. It is 16 pages.
You're gonna be talking about that for a while.
What are we talking about that one for? This one was also very long. This one was 22 pages.
Okay.
Yeah, because it says this one started on page 23. My next one starts page 45.
Oh, it's okay.
Um, but I just realized that 16-page one is the one after next week's. So I don't know if I'm gonna do it. I haven't decided yet because I can obviously go out of order.
Yeah.
But like, holy, because I don't want to do too many two-parters. Um,
Like right in a row.
yeah, just because like, say like I'm having a week, I want to save it for like a week where I'm just like I don't want to add another story, you know?
Yeah.
Because like the one I'm researching right now, it's not a long one. It's actually pretty short.
Okay.
Like
Okay.
I like long ones, I like short ones. I did not expect this one to be so long when I wrote it, and then I actually looked at the page count. I'm like, yeah, that explains it.
Yeah.
I'm curious. I have one other serial killer on here. Again, because like their reigns are so long. I've only done ones with like long so far.
Yeah.
Um, next one, 15. 15 pages. So like I'm averaging about like 18 pages per,
Yeah. I mean, my stories
give
are
or
just
take.
like shorter because they're paranormal.
Yeah.
So it's
Also
like,
like when I say it's like 22 pages long, like the amount of lines per page on the ones I'm handwriting versus how many I could get on a page in a doc.
Yeah.
Like, you
Very
know?
different. Yeah.
So, but yeah, that was my part 2T of Ted Bundy.
That's your part 2 T.
How do
My
you
T
feel?
is going to be more boring. But
No,
we
I
talked
like
about this.
paranormal
I was going to say,
stories.
we talked about this like on a FaceTime call personally, that like
Th-
you find paranormal stuff more exciting than I do.
Yes. So, how we like explained it, because even my parents were wondering, like, you have a degree in basically true
Yeah.
crime, but originally this podcast we talked about just being true crime. And
Yeah.
then you brought up like, hey, I'm really connected to the paranormal and you like to hear stories about it.
Yeah.
So like
It's
Corey
a good
again
idea. Yeah.
we talked about in episode 5 your personal connections with the paranormal at your grandparents'
Yeah.
house. So like I think personally because you can like if I like get my information wrong, you can obviously yell at me. But like then again, you also like to chime in being like, "Oh, I studied this and this is like how cuz forensic psychology, you can like think about that kind of stuff
Yeah.
of
That's
like
why
how they were thinking."
I always feel bad like when I say something and then you're like, you're ruining my story, and I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm just trained to do
You know what's
this.
happening.
I'm like, I'm just trained to think about this
Don't
stuff.
spoil it. But like then again, how many times do I chime in and I'm like, "Okay, but I've heard this and like this is how I imagine it could be." Like I like
Yeah.
that factor of I mean, it's one thing if you like spoil it and I'm just like, "Bitch."
Okay, I never mean to. It's just my
No, I
brain.
know.
It's like,
Cuz you know this stuff and
yeah,
I
when
know
you study
paranormal.
it, yeah. When you study it, your brain is like literally forensic psychology
Yeah.
programs you to like think about that stuff. Be
I
like,
mean,
this is what he was trying to do.
it's not like you can really go to school and study paranormal. It's not something you
Yeah.
do. As much as I would love, I would totally go back to college if there was a paranormal, like investigative major. I would totally do it just for the podcast.
Yeah. I think I just get like I think I get bored more easily, one, because I wrote the story, but also because I've experienced so much.
Yeah,
Because
you think it's boring, but it's not.
I also went back and forth to Gettysburg multiple times a year when I was growing
hmm
up. So like,
Like, bro, going over like North Brother Island, I think that was episode 3.
yeah,
Bro, think about it. Like, that was also something new you learned about. So like you think it's gonna be boring, like, oh, I just learned about all of this. Now I gotta talk about it. Like,
yeah,
no, it's not boring. Like how you know how engaged I was in that episode. I was like,
you
oh,
were.
that was such a fun one. It's like I don't ever think your stories are boring. Like I can understand my parents questioning us, being like, why do you do true crime? I'm like, because I want to.
It's
It's
fun.
fun. Also, like I know I don't have the degree, but like I did study forensics for a semester.
Yeah.
I
It's not like you
do,
don't have anything.
yeah, like I have a good base knowledge, you know?
Yeah. Well,
All right, I'm gonna shut up.
Ted
Hit me.
Bundy.
Ted Bundy's done.
Ted Bundy's done. We're talking about a
Literally.
different. Well, we're talking about a different kind of devil today. Ted Bundy was a devil, but now we're
Oh, I was
talking
like,
about a
huh?
different devil. Yeah. So we're actually going back into actual supernatural stuff. After like my last 4 were like legends and stuff.
Well, last week was the rituals, right?
Yeah,
That was your delayed episode.
Valentine's, yeah.
Yeah.
So we're going to North Carolina for the Devil's Tramping Ground.
Oh, I think I've heard of this.
Yeah, it's
I
pretty
don't know
it's
anything
pretty
about it, but I think
popular.
I've heard of it.
Yeah. So the Devil's Tramping Ground is a barren circle of earth located in the
Hmm.
woods in southern Chatham County near Bear Creek, North Carolina.
Yes, yes, I have heard of this.
it lies off of the state road, and it's actually on private property, so you're not supposed to go there.
Aww.
But
That makes me sad.
visitors access it anyway because it's like obviously in the woods, so there's a trail. And like you can pretend that you don't know it's private property because it's a trail leads there, so people just say that instead.
Mm-hmm.
So the circle is roughly 40 feet in diameter with no vegetation growth within it. So there's no grass, no weeds, and if you transplant like a plant in there,
Mm-hmm.
it eventually dies if it's inside the circle. Like it just
I hate that.
It cannot survive.
I just saw what time it was.
Yeah.
I want to kill myself.
It's okay.
Again, this is why I like we're doing earlier.
So even though nothing inside the circle grows, the forest around it is like very lively and populated with fully grown trees, fully grown plants, weeds, grass, and there's animals, like a lot of animals. But they avoid the area. So like they don't go inside the circle either. So like foxes or deers, like they go around the circle. Dogs, like if people are walking their dogs, the dogs will not go inside the circle. Like literally nothing will go inside of it and nothing grows inside of it.
I hate that.
Yeah. So the myths and legends about the place go back at least to the late 1800s, but it could realistically have legends going further back in history, but these are the first documented ones. It was primarily orally told through most of history, so the oral tradition suggests various origins because there's never one origin in oral stories. The most common story is pretty straightforward, pretty short. It's just that the devil walks in circles here at night, pondering evil deeds. So Satan himself is said to be pacing and planning his mischief against humanity. As he paces, his footprints scorch the earth. Yeah. So that's the most widely accepted story. But back in history, however, before the like legends of like the devil's tramping ground started, Native Americans had a lore about this circle of land as well, and they claimed that the circle was once a meeting place for tribal dances or the site of a battle between rival tribes, and the spirits keep the ground clear as part of their mourning.
Okay. I get that.
But the most widely believed one is the devil scorches the earth with his feet. So,
yeah, I would go with scorches the earth.
Yeah.
Personally.
I mean,
just because of what I know.
Yeah, the devil.
Yeah.
Yeah. So a couple things happen here. There's nothing like excessively crazy individually. So it's all really small things, but when you look at the big picture, it's creepy. So one of the most persistent claims is that if you place anything in the center of the circle at night, no matter how heavy, so it could be rocks, sticks, chairs, even tents, or like coolers, because people camp out there, by the next morning, it will have been moved outside of the circle's boundary. People say the object is often moved in a way that suggests intentional displacement rather than a random disturbance. So it's not like an animal pushed it or like the wind blew it. It looks like it was picked up and placed right outside of the circle. Like it's not farther away, it's literally right outside of the boundary of the circle.
No liking.
Yeah. So rocks and sticks are thrown to the edges. Camping equipment such as chairs, coolers, etc. end up scattered outside the circle. And in some more embellished versions, because there's always the exaggerated stories, even tents or people-occupied sleeping bags are supposedly shifted or left outside the circle by morning. So whatever it is, does not want anything inside the circle. It's like almost as if it thinks that it's like sacred. Like the entity thinks that this is its place and it doesn't want anything inside of it. Like nothing belongs there, just the entity. So, as I said before, many animals seem to be uncomfortable around the circle. So dogs sometimes refuse to step inside the circle. They'll yip, they'll whine, they'll pull back. even when their owners pull the leash forward. Dogs will plant their feet at the edge and pull backwards. Like they actively pull back. They're not standing still, they're pulling back, which is even more weird. So they react physically by like flattening their ears, and they tuck their tails between their legs, and they'll start circling nervously. And if the owner lets go of the leash, the dogs will bolt in the opposite direction.
I think your puppy would literally run right into the circle.
You know, Luna's not the brightest.
She's a little crazy. She likes to bite toes.
She does. She licked my toe
weird.
earlier. She licked my toe. She also peed on the table.
Ornaments and peed on the table. Your dog's not the brightest.
No, but she's a puppy.
But we love her. We want to give her snuggles.
She's so cute. I love her.
She is adorable.
But the dogs will also stop a little further away before the circle is even in, like, the view.
Mm-hmm.
And they'll just stop there. And, like, do, like, the little ear tuck thing.
Yeah.
Like, they sense the circle before the humans do. So there's obviously some sort of energy that is, like, disrupting the animals.
Don't like it.
So some stories also say that livestock, like horses, become skittish if they go near the boundary of the circle. So the horses would snort, sidestep, or rear, and oftentimes even become uncontrollable near the circle. So, like, they just straight up they can't be controlled. They, like, start flipping out. And the owner can't get them to calm down.
Mm-mm.
Yeah. Especially in, like, the 19th and the early 20th century, a horse refusing to enter an area was a huge red flag because horses were considered sensitive to danger long before people were. So that's why people got so set on the fact that there was something wrong with the circle.
Okay.
So
that makes sense.
Yeah. Local stories also claim that cattle or other grazing animals would walk around the circle rather than through it. So you could be walking straight and the animals will purposefully go around the boundary of the circle. And then older lore even claims that wildlife historically avoided the circle entirely. There were no burrows, nests, tracks, or droppings around the circle, and game animals reportedly skirt around the clearing rather than cross the circle. So literally everything just goes around.
Mm-hmm.
Literally nothing.
I think we classified that nothing goes inside of the circle.
Well, what? Okay, well, damn. What do you want me to say?
Listen, you give me opportunity to bully you, okay? Bitch, you can bully me back. You do it all the time anyway.
Animals. Anyway, this sort of animal phenomenon is incredibly important to the lore because many beliefs state that animals can sense evil or supernatural presences, detect spirits, or the devil himself. They feel the ground is wrong or dangerous and recognize the site is unnatural or forbidden. Yes, that's it about animals.
Okay.
So there are psychological effects that are also reported near or within the circle. So common physical sensations are a sudden tightness in the chest or shallow breathing, feeling lightheaded or mildly dizzy, goosebumps without a temperature change, pressure behind the eyes or temples, and a drop in the stomach similar to sudden fear. So it's important to note that these feelings do not appear gradually. They seem to appear rapidly as soon as you reach the edge of the circle. So you could be totally fine, and then you step right inside, and immediately you start, like, panicking. One of the most consistently repeated elements is the feeling of being watched. So visitors describe the sense of eyes on their back, feeling watched from multiple directions at once, and the sensation that something is circling them, not standing still. So, like, it feels like something is walking in circles around them,
No,
which
thank you.
tracks with the devil walks in circles.
No, thank you.
Yeah. Some people say that the sensation intensifies when standing still, lessens slightly when moving, and returns strongly if they step into the center. This creates an instinctive urge to keep moving or leave entirely, which could be, a tactic.
Mm-hmm.
A major reason people find the sight unsettling is that the emotions don't feel like their own. So it feels like something is planting the emotions in them. It doesn't feel like they're forming naturally.
Mm-hmm.
So there's reported emotional changes that are, well, the reported emotional changes include sudden anxiety with no clear trigger, irritability or anger out of nowhere, a sense of dread that is not tied to any thought, and a heavy oppressive sadness. So, like, this specifically freaks me out because, like, feeling like my emotions and thoughts, like, are planted into my head is such a,
I don't
like,
like that.
it feels like dystopian. Like
Yeah.
somebody's placing like a chip in your brain and it freaks me
Mm-hmm.
out. So that does not freak me out as much as time distortion though.
Mm-hmm.
Time distortion freaks me out.
I hate that.
Um Apparently this place also has time distortion. So people report thinking they were there for minutes when it was really over an hour. They feel like time slowed dramatically while they were standing still, and they lost track of how long they've been walking around the circle.
I hate that
Yeah.
so much.
Some describe a mental fog through trouble forming sentences, forgetting why they came, and difficulty making simple decisions like left or right. This fog often lifts as soon as they leave the area, which makes it stand out in somebody's memory. Because you remember it
Yeah.
being like, I don't know if I'm supposed to go left or right. Why did I come here? Was I walking my dog? Like, what was I doing?
Mm-hmm.
And then as soon as you're through the circle, you're like, oh, I was doing this.
I hate losing track of time. I hate it.
Yeah, I don't like it either. So these feelings don't always end when you leave the circle. So some visitors claim they had nightmares for several nights afterwards, persistent anxiety that was tied to the memory of the circle, a lingering sense of being followed, and difficulty sleeping after visiting. These physical and psychological experiences stick out so much because you can question something moving or like shadows. Like you can question, oh, is that really a shadow? But you can't dismiss like how you feel because you
Mm-hmm.
know that it's not natural, you know?
Yeah.
So like feelings are not internal or internal, not external, so they don't rely on seeing something. So like
Gotcha.
it makes it harder for people to dismiss them. So the fact that there's so many of these like physical feelings, people find it very intriguing. That's why it sticks around so long
Yeah.
because people are like, "Oh my gosh, this is like causing me bodily harm."
Oh my god.
So
Anyway.
a less common phenomenon reported, but is still prevalent, is visual illusions. So people describe human-sized shadows with no discernible features, dark forms darker than the surrounding night, shapes that block starlight or moonlight rather than glow, and figures seen only in the peripheral vision. When you look at them, they disappear.
No, thank you.
So the most common locations are at the tree line, never in the open center, just beyond the circle's edge, and between closely spaced trunks. So like the forest feels thicker.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Almost no one reports a shadow figure standing in the middle of the barren ground. That space is usually described as empty, cleared, or actively avoided, even by entities in the spiritual realm. So even other entities that people are claiming to see refuse to go in there.
I don't like it.
So, unlike these typical something ran past me stories, these figures are often described as moving slowly, deliberately, sliding or gliding rather than walking, circling the clearing, not approaching directly, and keeping a consistent distance from the observer. So they're literally just observing
Yeah.
you.
Hmm.
Yeah. So they also hear noises there. But the noises are not loud. So it's not like screams or crashes or like cinematic ghost noises,
Yeah.
you know? It's soft, but they're distinct because they're so different than what you'd expect. So, these sounds are usually isolated. There's usually only one sound at a time, which almost creeps me out more
Yeah.
because, like, why is only one thing happening at a time?
You'd expect like you're in the forest, like multiple sounds at once.
Sometimes even like I'll get there. I'll get there. So,
Okay.
but footsteps are the most common. So they're described as slow, steady footsteps on leaves or dirt, even pacing, not hurried, and often moving in a circular path around the clearing with crunching sounds that stop abruptly. So, you know, the pacing of the devil. Um, Besides the footsteps, some sounds are movement based but incomplete. So leaves rustle, but there's no wind. Branches shift, but they do not snap. The underbrush parts, but there's no footsteps afterwards. So in the normal woods, like movement comes with a package of sounds. So like
Yeah.
there would be like the wind blows and the leaves rustle, and then you can hear the birds or the bugs like making cricket sounds or whatever. Here, you'll hear a branch move across the bottom of the like um forest, and that's it. That's the only thing you'll hear. No bugs, no wind, nothing.
I don't like that.
So
I'm gonna be saying that a lot. I hope you know that.
it's okay because I don't like it either. So nothing ever feels complete. Like people think it sounds like there's always something missing. So even the silence is like considered a sound. The absence of
Okay.
sound is important just as much as the reported sound. So like the woods go too quiet. So like the insects will stop making noise. The frogs will stop making
Oh,
noise.
gotcha.
There's no distant animal calls, so no like fox noises. So like
Hmm.
it creates like a hyper aware situation. So like people become hyper aware of their own breathing. They become hyper aware of their own movement because it's the only thing they can hear is their own like breath going in and out. Which in the
Hmm.
woods, really fucking creepy. Like imagine you're in the woods and the only thing you can hear is your own breath. Like you don't hear
Mm-mm.
any animals, any wind, like it's just silent.
No, thank you. I maybe we're not gonna visit this place.
We're definitely not ever.
No.
No. So the sounds often begin after dusk. They intensify between midnight and 2 a.m. They occur when visitors are still or quiet and stop when people prepare to leave. So it's like the entity is trying to subtly chase them away. So like when they get what they want, they stop because they're like, "Oh, they're leaving. I chased them away. I don't need to do it anymore." The experiences are subtle and small, but there are so many that it creates like a very specific atmosphere. The results of this atmosphere can sometimes carry over even after leaving. Like it's punishing the visitor for like even coming to see. But the Devil's Tramping Ground doesn't punish people in like flashy ways. It's more about the after effects that are like subtle and lingering, and it's very personal. So like I told you some of them before, but there's persistent unease, trouble sleeping, nightmares, a sense of being watched for days after. Um, and it's like the grounds are like remembering you and trying to get you to remember to never come back. That's what people explained it as, is that
Okay.
like it feels like the ground is punishing you. They don't want you to come back and they're gonna make you remember that you feel like shit and you should never go back there.
Got it.
Listen, your Ted Bundy story has my mind numb, okay?
Gotcha. Sorry about that. My mind is just always numb.
So some visitors claim the place confuses the mind, disorients the travelers, and causes people to lose track of time or direction, with some people getting lost when they're leaving and having trouble with directions for the next few days. So they get lost for like the next couple of days. They can't figure out where they're going.
So like I always get lost, so I don't think that would affect me.
Maybe not. You're bad with directions, but it's okay.
Yeah, you know that I am. Every time I'm like, Corey, go that way. And it's
I'm
the
like, that's
wrong-
not
yeah.
right.
No. No, I can give directions
Anyway,
sometimes.
as you know, when I discuss like actual paranormal things, I like to include the skeptic's beliefs to like cover all points of view. So for the Devil's Tramping ground, skeptics believe a few different things. So firstly, the ground inside the circle has unusual soil properties that prevent plant growth. Proposed factors include high salt concentration, mineral imbalance, compacted or damaged soil structure, possible historical contamination like ash or animal waste. And this would explain why nothing grows there, why transplanted plants die, and why the circle persists over time. But it does not cover why the soil tests over the years have been inconclusive. So there's no real difference in the soil. The surrounding
Really?
soil appears similar. So when you take samples from both in the circle and outside of the circle, there's basically no difference.
That's weird.
Yeah.
I would have totally expected different factors.
Nope. And it doesn't explain why animal behavior happens and our psychological effects.
It's such a weird concept. Like, it makes no sense.
Nope, there's basically no difference between the soil when you look at them.
Well, if you mean like under a microscope.
Yeah, like when you test it, like the actual properties of the soil, there's like barely any difference.
I don't like it.
Skeptics also believe that animals react to the scent and the texture. So animals avoid the circle because the soil smells unusual from the minerals. The open clearing removes cover, which triggers prey instincts, and the texture underfoot feels different or unstable. So this could explain why dogs refuse to enter, the livestock skirts around the edge, and wildlife paths bend around it, but it does not debunk how dogs sometimes react before the circle is visible, how not all open clearings cause panic in prey animals, and it doesn't explain why reactions feel so intense or specific.
Yeah, I mean, also, like, we can kind of like, when the skeptics say the minerals have to be different inside the circle,
But
but
there's
you said the soil shows no
scientists,
difference.
yeah,
So
scientists
even
have
then, the
tested in
skeptics
and
can't
out.
use that.
Nope. So some people also believe the expectation of paranormal activity is enough for the brain to find some paranormal activity, which
Mm-hmm.
is kind of true psychologically. If you expect something to be there, it's a lot easier for you to find it.
Yeah.
So, like, basically, it states that once your brain expects the paranormal experiences, oh my gosh, normal forest sounds feel threatening, the shadows feel intentional, emotional responses escalate rapidly, and memory fills in the gaps afterwards. So after you leave, you'll like unintentionally fill in paranormal experiences when they weren't.
Yeah,
So
I guess.
this would explain the sensations of being watched, fear without a visible cause, and sounds interpreted as footsteps or whispers. So this explains sensations of being watched, fear without a visible cause, and sounds interpreted as footsteps or whispers. But it falls short when some people report experiences before knowing the legend. So some people go there without knowing the legend, like they just walk through the woods and they're like, "What the fuck is this?" And they have the same
Okay.
experiences.
So it's
So there's no
not.
psychological
You can't say it's
expectation.
psychological.
Yeah,
Okay.
there's no
I get
expectation
that.
of paranormal experiences, but they still experience it. And it also falls short on how the same motifs have been repeated across history. So, like, people would change their psychological expectations based on what is expected around that time, but it doesn't. That part, I don't really vibe with,
Yeah, I can
but,
understand that.
like, um, I lost where I was. Oh, yeah. So the last theory is about sensory deprivation, which is also rooted in psychology and biology. So
Mhm.
at night in the woods, vision is unreliable, the sounds lose clear direction, and the brain fills in the gaps, which causes peripheral illusions such as the shadow figures, misinterpreted footsteps, and feeling watched. This would explain the shadow figures at the tree lines, the sound stopping when you look, and fear escalating without stimulus.
Okay, I get it. Makes
Yeah.
sense.
So, like, some of the skeptic theories do have some backbone to them.
Yeah.
But, like, I'm a girly who believes in the paranormal.
Oh, same.
So, I'd love to believe it's a real thing, but I don't fuck around with the devil. So, I'm not gonna go and find out if it's real or not.
Well, thank you. You just gave me a title for this episode. It is now going to be called A Girly Who Believes in Paranormal.
Or I don't fuck around with the devil.
I don't know if I could put a curse word in the title. Gonna be so honest with you. I probably can.
It's fine. But yeah,
We're listed under
that's it.
explicit. Yay! That was a good one. I only I probably have heard of the lore behind it, but I didn't pay attention enough to be so honest.
I knew about it for like a while, but like I
You
had
didn't
to,
know it.
yeah, yeah.
I get it.
I didn't know it was private property, actually.
I wouldn't have thought it would be.
Nope, people just, uh, they avoid it somehow.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
All right. That was some good tea. I'm like falling over right now, so do you want to just sign off because we talked so fucking much today?
It's fine.
How do we do our sign off? Fuck.
Our
Um,
Instagram
yes, Instagram.
is Let's Spill the Tea Pod. Our Gmail is lstt.pod@gmail.com. Our Spotify is also Let's Spill the Tea Pod. And our YouTube is under the Gmail. And also Let's Spill the Tea Podcast.
Yes. Just
There's
literally
also
search.
now, actually, it's probably a couple weeks. I wish I could put this
This will
into
be a couple weeks from now. Yes.
yeah, I wish I could put this into an earlier episode, but there is a link tree on the
Yes.
Instagram now.
So I'm sure if you're listening to this, you either know us, found it on Instagram, but if you struggle to find any of our information, you can use our link tree, which is going. I will see if I can add it to our other socials as well, like our
YouTube
Spotify
and
and our
Spotify.
YouTube. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think you can add like URLs to that. I don't know yet. Don't quote me on that. But that is technically my job. So
Yeah.
to figure that out and then tell you like you can. Which you have all the accounts for everything, obviously.
Yeah.
So yeah. We a little sleepy, so we spilt that tea. Goodbye.
Bye.